Hi there, I'm Dawg Knight.
Hey everybody, how we doing? So, just to let you know what that was, roughly, I don't know, when was this? 2015 maybe? I don't know, what's the date on this one? The date on this video is July 23rd, 2016. That is the day I published my first video. And today, oh, by the way, hi, how you doing? I'm here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with yours truly, Dawg Knight. And I've been saying this for weeks that I'm going to celebrate that 200 subscriber milestone. And so today I'm going to. And basically we're going to look at my first video, which you just saw the beginning clip with the intro to it. And you know what? I'm going to add an intro to my stream. And I've been talking about that for a couple weeks too. But this weekend, I have nothing to do. It's the first time. I'm trying to think. Well, actually, we're repackaging all the Christmas decorations, which they're all down, but they've been sitting in this room for weeks, but you can't see them because I hide them. But no, I'm going to make a new intro for the show. I'm going to make a new outro for the show. And, today though, we're going to just try to, I'm going to show you a few things that I did when I didn't really know what I was doing on YouTube. So some of these, you get a laugh out of it. Some will be cringy. Well, I don't know if they'll be cringy. You know what? Even my very first video, I got a great response to, which was good because I really didn't know what I was doing, but I had a way to put it together. But before we get started, I want to say hi to everyone in the chat. Good morning, Johnny Hellcat, Diesel Dave, and Sarah, and Tarai Deos. Good morning. And Tyler F. And who else is here? Monkey! What the hell? I got the ranting monkey in my chat. Adele, you're still up? Dude, you've been up all night. All right, I can dig that. Della Hayes. Who else is here? Hate Camel. Man, the gang is all here. We're jumping in quick. That's awesome. Anyway, so we're going to just... First, let's just go. I want to show you this. I don't know how many of you ever seen any of my videos, and I'm going to start making videos again. I promise. We talked about that a couple days ago, and so now we're just gonna go through and watch what I used to do. And this is the very first video that I ever put on YouTube. And if you haven't seen it, well, lucky you. You're in for a hell of a treat. Now, let me just give you a little background on this particular video though. Hey, Shady Grin, by the way, good morning. Smarty Bear. Who else just popped in? Shady Grin, are you new? I am so happy you're here. Awesome. Anyway, all right. Well, Monkey, don't go to sleep just yet. And dang, I was gonna try to figure out how I could put guests on the show using this Streamlabs. Whatchamacallit? What am I using? Streamlabs OBS. Anyway, let's watch my first video, but a little background on this. So, if you don't remember, good morning, Maniac Man. If you don't remember, 2016 was the era of the question videos. Okay, so like BuzzFeed used to put out these question videos, and then all of a sudden, all the YouTubers started making questions for each other, and then other people respond to them. In fact, I'm going to actually make a response video to one of those question videos that I didn't do at the time because nobody knew who the hell I was, and because I've always wanted to let this one video simmer. And so that's just a preview of something that's coming up. But anyway, let's go ahead and watch. Did I upload a video? Oh, no, this is from 2016. This is hi, check your logic. No, the answer to your question is, this is the very first video I ever did. So here we go. Should I do the intro again? Let's do the intro again. Let's do the whole thing. All right, here we go. And I might stop it here and there because there's some places where I had to change the video because, when you do your first video, you don't really know the rules. And you make a mistake because you put some music or some footage in there that you're probably not supposed to be using. I did that. So I'm going to tell you what it was, because actually I thought the original video that I made was even funnier than this one. But here we go. All right, so here it is. Dawg's very first video. Here we go.
Hi there. I'm Dawg Knight.
Beautiful graphics, huh? Look at that. Ooh, that guy is smooth. Woo! All right, here we go.
Hey, this is Dawg Knight. You know, I've been watching videos on YouTube for several years now, but just last week I finally heard about a video that made me decide maybe I should start making videos of my own. You see, there's been this proliferation of these question videos. You know the ones I'm talking about? Like the BuzzFeed videos, like 24 questions black people have for white people, or 26 questions Asians have for white people, or, you know, 9 questions Native Americans have for white people, or 33 questions white people have for white people, or that one 27 questions black people have for black people. I mean, that last one was really racist.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just stepped over my joke. I just stepped over the joke. Did anyone get the joke there? Of course, I forget that I'm 3 seconds behind, so maybe not. So, yeah, hi, Scribe. I hope you're feeling better. Anyway, so yeah, the joke was all these BuzzFeed videos about white people, but the one they did that they had questions black people have for black people, and everyone lost their minds about that one because they thought it was racist. Anyway, here we go.
I mean, at least BuzzFeed apologized for it. But you know, all the questions in all of these videos were just so stupid and condescending. Most of it's just race-baiting nonsense. So I was really disappointed to hear that a handful of YouTubers I subscribed to decided to make one of those videos, and they called it Questions White Men Have for SJWs. Why on earth would they want to sully their reputations with one of these question videos? So, as a loyal subscriber of many of these guys, I felt it was important to show them the error of their ways. So, gentlemen, in the immortal words of one of the greatest YouTubers ever, prepare to get decimated.
All right, now, that's a joke that went over most people's heads. So, if anyone in the chat... Yeah, go to sleep, monkey. You need to be sleeping, dude. You've been up. When did the hell did you've been up all night? I went to work. What time did I go to work? It was 6 hours ago. And I think you were just getting off of one stream and then you went on to another. Take your ass to bed and go to sleep. All right? We'll talk later. Anyway, so does anyone know where that prepare to get decimated came from? You'd have to really think about this one. Let's just put it this way. This was Onision did some video that everyone was talking about, and that was a line from Onision. So, oh my God, monkey, go to bed. You might not even wake up for your stream tonight. You better get your ass to sleep. All right, here we go. Let's continue.
But first, I have to do a little housekeeping because I don't want to get in trouble with the new YouTube terms of service. So first, there's this disclosure. Feel free to pause and read. And then there's this one. You can pause this one too. And I have one more. But before I do that, if at any time during my video you begin to feel nauseous or sick, please pause the video immediately and take a deep breath, or get some water before you continue. And if you absolutely cannot continue with my video, please at least skip to the end and take in my very important parting message. So here we go. Now, I'm not by any means a social justice warrior, but I think I have a pretty good handle on how to answer these questions. So, in advance, thanks for watching. One more disclosure, and then the video will start. Warning, 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 warning.
Why do you claim to speak for LGBT people, women, and ethnic minorities, but when LGBT people, women, and ethnic minorities disagree with you, you harass them?
Whoa, 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 wait a minute. That was actually a good question. Hey, I thought you said this was gonna be like a BuzzFeed video. Man, that's a good enough question that I might actually have to get some help, because I'm not really an SJW, so give me a second. No, that's okay, Professor. I got the perfect guy for this. Hey, yo, come over here.
I have done my research. That's not a fucking issue. You're a white man.
Oh, wow. You know, that's kind of his answer to everything. We weren't expecting good questions, so just let's go on and I'll try to do a little better.
Okay, I promise. Yeah, this one starts slow, but I promise there's something good in this video. I did something right. That was okay. But okay, let's go.
Do you realize that your war on language through political correctness has made you bedfellows with true rape culture? In other words, Islam, the world's most misogynistic ideology.
Damn!
Good Lord, man. These guys don't mess around. Oh my goodness. Hey, you know, I'm not an expert on Islam either, so hey, you know what? Maybe this lady can help you out.
When speaking about Islam, it's very difficult to imagine that that religion has liberated and even improved the situation of Muslim women. Because today we have to denounce and to act the fact that some women are forced are being forced married. Some Muslim women in Europe are being of barbaric and cultural practices. Some Muslim women are being victim of domestic violence. But this is not in the name of Islam. This is in the name of a certain interpretation of Islam.
See, there you go. The misogyny in Islam is just an interpretation of Islam. It's not how it's really practiced in the Muslim world. Well, kind of. But it's just an interpretation. No big deal.
Do you want women to be equal, or do you want women to be a protected class? You can't have both. If you expect society to treat women as equal with men, why don't women have to take responsibility for their own safety?
Oh yeah, right. Now I've been waiting for this guy. You're that pedophile dude, aren't you? Hold on. What? What? What do you mean she's in her 20s? She looks like she's 13. Alright, never mind. But still, of course women should have equal rights. But shouldn't we still protect them? I mean, what if they make bad decisions?
And so it's like, thanks for granting us this basic human right and not protecting us at all.
And there you have it. Do you want equality, or do you want to be a protected class? Because you can't be both.
Hey, where the hell did she come from?
Whose job is it to protect you?
Oh, she came with the helmet guy?
From?
Well, who let her in
This is
here?
the most entitled thing I have ever heard.
Well, look here, young lady. I'm trying to talk to the guys right now. So yes, you made a good point, but you can move along. I told you she looks like she's 13.
What are you afraid will happen when you leave your safe space?
You know, I don't really think they think something bad is going to happen. It's just that when they get out into the real world, what the hell? What's up with this chick? Really? Is she done? No, really, is she done? Because I don't want her coming back here. Did somebody get her back to her safe space? Okay. Sorry about that. Moving on.
Here's a question. Are you aware that the present is not the past? I'm not kidding. Are you familiar with the concept of linear time? Because you seem incredibly comfortable traveling back through time to talk about how bad things were for women, or black people, or whoever. And then by using some form of SJW magic, you then claim or imply that those problems in the past exist today. Are you aware that this trick that you're doing is not working? Why do you think that would work?
Okay, let me tell you how it works, because on this one, I think I can channel my inner social justice warrior, which of course is innate in all black people. So here it is. Linear time is just a social construct. So when we talk about time, what we're really talking about is events and occurrences in history that are sustainable. And because they're sustainable, we can talk about them as though they are still happening today in the Western world. When in reality, most of these awful things we see from the past are really only happening in countries we really don't like to talk about, because that would be racist. And yet in order to show that you're a racist, homophobic, sexist, ableist, cisgendered white male, we can put all the terrible things from the past at your feet so that we sound like we're good people and that you're the flaming shitlords that you are, because, you know, it's 2016. There, does that answer your question? Because I think I nailed it.
How can you possibly justify the idea that it's somehow racist to disagree with Black Lives Matter, and yet it's not racist when a black person tweets something like, "Kill all white people"?
Because everybody already knows all white people are racist. Moving on.
Do you really think you can spend your entire life in a state of perpetual emotional immaturity? Do you actually imagine that you will be able to stretch out your adolescence for your entire existence?
Well, why not? It's obviously working for this guy.
Well, I have a mommy and daddy, a adopted mommy and daddy, who are totally comfortable with me being a little girl, and their children and their grandchildren are totally supportive. In fact, her youngest granddaughter, when I was 8, a year ago I was 8, and she was 7, and she said to me, I want you to be the little sister, so I'll be 9. I said, well, I don't mind going to 6, so I've been 6 ever since.
There are 13% more women in college right now.
Wait, hold up there, Chief. Did she say she was 6 years old? Did I hear that right?
There are 13%.
Dude, I said hold up. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Hey, run that back a second.
I want you to be the little sister, so I'll be 9. I said, well, I don't mind going to 6, so I've been 6 ever since.
I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge. Hey, you. What's your question?
There are 13% more women in college right now than men. So if the whole goal of feminism is equality, shouldn't we have some men-only scholarships in order to equal everything out?
Okay, before I go move on, this is before Dusty became a well, I was going to call him a virtue signaling prick, although I still get along with Dusty a little bit now and then. Although I do have a funny Dusty story. I'm going to try to remember that Dusty story. But anyway, I'm going to go back to Dusty's question here.
More women in college right now than men. So if the whole goal of feminism is equality, shouldn't we have some men-only scholarships in order to equal everything out?
No, because sometimes we have to fix inequality with inequality. So as long as we have this wage gap where women are being paid 78 cents for every dollar a man makes, and
the wage gap is simply the average earnings of men and women working full-time. It does not count for different job positions, hours worked, or different jobs. It has nothing to do with the same job. It has nothing to do with discrimination.
Is she really in her 20s? Really? Okay, man. My apologies to that guy with the helmet.
If feminism and egalitarianism are both for equal rights, then why does one start with a gendered prefix while the other one is entirely gender neutral?
Why is this Puerto Rican dude in this video with all these white guys? No, he's Puerto Rican. Can't you tell? Look at him. He's Puerto Rican. He's Puerto Rican. Trust me. Okay, whatever. Look, dude, if you've ever watched an Onision video on feminism, you'd already know the answer to this question, but I'm not going to put him in my video because I can't stand the guy. Okay, so in the interest of time, I'm going to speed this up a little bit and answer the next several questions as succinctly as possible because this is already taking way longer than I expected it to. So here are the next answers in my best social justice warrior voice.
What do you hope to gain by bringing back racial segregation?
Racist.
When my granduncle was dropping bombs on London, did your grandparents get out of their bunkers in the morning to protest with signs that read, "Not all Nazis"?
Racist.
Why do you think every cis white male is born racist? Racism is a learned behavior.
Racist.
How can you possibly say that the phrase "all lives matter" is somehow racist? It sounds like something the Dalai Lama would say.
Because he's a racist.
Would you rather be right or popular? It seems like your primary objective is to score social points and get public validation. You speak publicly in the same way that people write their dating profiles. Stop trying to demonstrate how awesome you are and get real.
Can you ask the first part of that question again? I didn't get all that.
Would you rather be right or popular? It seems like your primary objective is to score social points and get public validation. You speak publicly in the same way that people write their dating profiles.
Just one more time. I didn't quite get all that.
Would you rather be right or popular?
Now that was a good question. I have no idea what you said, but that was a hell of a question.
So if a drunk man sleeps with a drunk woman, the woman is incapable of giving...
By the way, just a quick note here. The first time my wife watched this video, that was her favorite part. She was laughing her ass off. So I got away with that one.
consent, but the man is...
Oh, what did he say? What did he ask?
But that was a hell of a question.
Right, back to Chris. Yes,
so
it is
if
Chris
a drunk
Ray
man sleeps with a drunk woman, the woman is incapable of giving consent, but the man is...
By the way, I would say that the answer to this question is the best answer I gave in the entire video. I think, if I remember right. I haven't watched this in a while. Anyway, so what was his question again? Hang on, I forgot what his question was. It was something about drunk this and drunk that. Okay, here we go.
But that was a hell of a question.
So if a drunk man sleeps with a drunk woman, the woman is incapable of giving consent, but the man is...
No. If they're both drunk, then they have both committed rape. The man is a rapist, which is redundant because all men are rapists, and he should be sent to prison because if the woman said he raped her, then we should automatically believe her. But even if she didn't say he raped her, she could change her mind at any time after the sex took place because no one would ever have sex when she's drunk, no matter how long she and the man have been dating. And even if they are married, because drunk sex is not really a thing. Now, the woman is also a rapist because the man couldn't consent to sex while he's drunk, in particular if he's a minor, because no women, especially teachers, would ever have sex with a minor anyway. But if she did and she got pregnant and decided to keep the baby, she could still sue that minor for child support after she served her prison sentence, which would have been much shorter than the prison sentence for the man for the same offense. Got it? Okay, moving along.
Is it really easier to spend your life attempting to pacify the world and subdue all around you, instead of accepting that you are the person who has to change?
I really don't think any SJW would answer that question, because they would have no idea what you just asked them.
When I'm singing along with rap music, is it okay if I say the word nigga?
Oh my god. I finally understand that one question on that BuzzFeed video. What was it? The black people have questions for white people?
Why do you want to say the N-word so badly?
Why the hell do you look so joyful asking that question? Wait. No. Just one response video at a time. Back to the original question.
When I'm singing along with rap music...
No. We got it, country dude. As if this guy ever listened to rap music. Come on, man. Maybe some Luke Bryan or Little Big Town or some shit like that. What? Yeah, I know who those are. Well, I know I'm black, but it doesn't mean I live under a rock. So, back to the question. This is one of the age-old questions that perplexes people in both the black community and the white community, if you could say there is such a thing as the white community. When we think of the most pressing concerns of the day, we certainly must not forget those in the expressive arts. Musicians, poets, thespians. Yes, I said thespians. Must all be conscious of whether their art is both socially responsible and yet authentic. So when we think about the current state of rap music and its impact on the larger society, we must be keenly aware of the usage of such language that when used by some can be used to degrade, but when used by the artists themselves, project authenticity to the audience that is the larger consumer of their art. Suburban white kids. So to answer your question, my country friend, if you find yourself at, say, Coachella, surrounded by thousands of white people, and Jay-Z and Kanye are on the stage singing their classic hit, Niggas in Paris, feel free to sing along to every word within the comfort and safety of your crew. However, if you find yourself on the bus in a large urban area, surrounded by black folk, listening on your headphones to say YG's whimsical ballad, My Nigga, I would strongly suggest that you refrain from singing along, but rather only sing along in your head, so as to avoid a beatdown.
How do you...
Okay, so I'm going to answer a couple questions here. Okay, I had fun with that one. Do I actually play piano? Yes, I do, but that particular piece was not me playing. Let's see. And then there was something down here someone was asking, by the way. I don't remember what. Oh, don't trash talk Luke Bryan. I'm not trash talking Luke Bryan. I'm just saying, man. You know Dusty doesn't listen to rap music. I said if he might listen to Luke Bryan or Little Big Town or some shit like that. But I like Luke Bryan. Actually, you know what? I don't remember where it is, but I saw some video of Luke Bryan doing a cover of Def Leppard's Pour Some Sugar on Me, and that might have been the greatest shit I've ever seen in my life. I don't knock Luke Bryan. Luke Bryan's the shit, man. Can I turn up my mic volume? Is that what you're asking? Hey, Sean, and how you doing? And Captain Brambles, who else just showed up? King Bob, I don't recognize King Bob. Hello, welcome. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button down there. Can you? Yeah, Sean, are you talking about my volume or the volume of the video? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. I'll give you a second because I know there's a lag here in the answer. Okay, I'm not getting it yet. It takes a while. I'm going to continue. Just tell me in the chat what you mean about my volume. All right, I'm going to continue here.
How do you reconcile your opinion that gender doesn't matter or even exist with your need to invent new genders each day?
Yeah, I got no answer for that. So instead, I'm going to give you a truth bomb from a tranny.
None of these are real. Stop trying to make them a real thing. There are 2 genders.
Yeah, you tell him, Blair. You know, she really is a very lovely and smart young lady. Yeah, I know that. I'm not trying to date her. Look at her. She's hot.
In your version of equality, will white men ever have a voice in society, or will white men all...
Did he leave? He went outside? Well, that's good enough. Good.
What makes you think that the power of censorship... What makes you think
whoa,
that
wait,
the
what happened
power
here?
of censorship...
Hang on, I'll fix it.
...that you are so desperate...
There we go.
What makes you think that the power of censorship...
What's going on here?
That you... What makes you think that
all right,
the
who is
power
this guy?
of
Is this guy from Anonymous or something?
You are so desperately trying to establish now will at no point be used against you.
Yeah, this was before Kraut became a complete shithead, but you know what? He was pretty good for at some point.
Yeah, I got it. Now get off my screen.
Why is it that if a woman dresses sexy or even topless in public, you support it, but if a female video game character is dressed sexy, then you want her clothed more modestly?
Yeah, those are the first world problems that only the white feminists care about, so I'm not even going to answer that. I don't care.
What is your favorite song to sing really loud when you're confronted with a different point of view?
Ah, yes. Another question about the arts. Thank you, my skinhead-looking friend. This question actually took a little research on my part, but with great diligence, I truly believe that I have found the very most popular refrain among social justice warriors that fits the situation which you describe.
I forgot about this part. Jamming tune though.
Why are you afraid of dissenting opinions? Your continued attempts to silence all opposition, either by smearing them publicly or labeling their content as hate speech and having it removed, only serves to insulate your bubble even more.
Damn it.
And maintain your echo
Hey, I
chamber.
think that German
It also
guy
prevents you from
messed up
taking
my
on new
damn
information
software.
and hearing different
You
points
know how
of
to
view.
fix this?
Different points of view that are sometimes superior to yours.
Dang it.
Which tends to happen whenever I talk.
Damn. Did any of you even hear what the kangaroo dude just said? Because I missed his question again.
What is reverse racism? Like, what the actual fuck is it? It's just racism, right?
Yeah, sure, right. Hey, did you find that number for tech support?
Do any of you people actually remember all the pronouns? You know the list, right? The one with 76 fucking genders.
Did that dude really just say you people? What do you mean by you people? And the only person in the world who probably knows all 76 genders is this moron.
Fucking moron!
Dude, you read my mind.
Why do you feel entitled to control what artists and entertainers are allowed to express? Why do you think your sensibilities should be placed above the sensibilities of actual creators?
Because it's our job to monitor all art and entertainment that isn't produced by anyone other than women and minorities. Unless those women and minorities are conservative or libertarian and the like, because you know those women suffer from Stockholm Syndrome anyway, and you know the black ones are really just a bunch of coons and Uncle Toms that run around licking boots while they're trying to please the white man, because God forbid they ever have an opinion that strays from the collective. But I digress, because if we don't monitor everything that is produced, especially by cisgendered straight white men, we know we'll be confined to a world that is just filled with racism and sexism. Because as you know, everything is racist, everything is sexist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out. Oh yeah, and transphobic and ableist too.
Have you ever considered that using the terms racism and sexism as haphazardly as you do to describe everything under the sun that makes you feel uncomfortable devalues the word to the point that it actually hurts the people who actually suffer from real sexism and real racism? Have you ever fucking thought of that?
Oh, nope.
Have you guys tried drinking this shit? It's great.
All right, so that's the first. Oh, wait, I suppose I should be ending this pretty good too, I guess. So this was the first video I ever did. It was a lot of fun to make.
Wait,
Oh,
I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me, Dawg Knight. Thank you for watching. I'm kind of new to this whole YouTube thing, so any kind of feedback you could give me would be great. Hit like or even dislike. Let me know in the comments section. What did you like? What did you dislike?
So,
even what could I do better? However, there is a couple things that you can do that will help me out the most. Right down there below that red subscribe button is a little gray arrow with the word share next to it.
Whoa, hold on,
Click that.
What did I just say there? Here, listen to that part again. What did I say? Okay, hang on, hold up. Listen to this part again.
Or even what could I do better? However, there is a couple things that you can do that will help me out the most. Right down there below that red subscribe button is a little gray arrow with the word share next to it.
Right down there.
Click that
Right down
button
there.
and share this video with the people you know.
Right down
Facebook,
there.
Twitter, heck, even on Tumblr.
Right
I don't
down
care.
there.
Wherever you'd like to share it. If more people see this and give me feedback, hopefully it will help me make better videos in the future. So please, share this. And if you'd like to see what I come up with in the future, hit the subscribe button too. Again, thanks for watching, and I really look... Damn, seriously? Hey, are we still on hold with tech support? Well, I guess I'll just have to wait. Damn it.
Alrighty then. So that was, I had some creative juices going, and I had a lot of fun making that. Now, one of the funny things about this, so a lot of people who, this was, like I said, this was 3 years, almost full 3 years ago. And the comments were interesting because a lot of people came here thinking that it was going to be serious. So, for example, the first comment on here from 2 years ago, I got here expecting cancer, and I got this, and I got it, but this is the good kind of cancer. Thanks. And then people liked that it was a good SJW parody. Came looking for triggered SJWs, was pleasantly surprised by the bait and switch. Bravo. So, I got a few subscribers out of the very first video, and a lot of people subscribed right off the bat. Now, I, for some reason, stopped being a sarcastic prick right after this video. So maybe I should just go back to being a sarcastic prick. I don't know. Although I do it sometimes. So that was, I thought it turned out pretty good for a verse video. But y'all can let me know what you think too. It's still up, obviously, on my channel. It is the one video that has the most views for me, 2,603 views, but that's over 3 years. But it got shared quite a bit, and I was listening at work, and at first I really thought you were yet again one of those mindless gluteus maximus herd drones attempting and miserably failing to construct a reasonable answer for any rational... Oh, I didn't even read this one. Reasonable answer, a rational question, and or critique presented towards anything remotely associated in any way with anything, but mostly SJW stuff. But then it dawned on me that I was being sarcastic. Yeah, there were a lot of people who downvoted this video, and then later I found out that they downloaded it before they realized that I was being sarcastic. So, yeah, so, and yes, linear time is a social construct, by the way, just FYI, because everything's a social construct. So it was a lot of fun making that video for making my first one. And that's, that's what we're here celebrating. I probably, I think in my first year on YouTube, I probably had 50 subscribers by the end, because I don't think I really made enough videos, and that's why I want to kind of go back to doing that. But that's kind of my typical sense of humor, if you haven't already noticed. So that was fun. I was going to do, let's see, I wonder if we should watch, I have a kind of, let's see. Well, y'all, so anyway, when you go to my channel, you can go look at some of my old videos. My two favorite, or the first two I did, was that one, and then is Hillary Clinton the most qualified ever to seek the presidency? I enjoyed that. I never made the Trump video that I was going to make as a follow-up to that. Oh, you know what? We are going to watch one more, because this one, it's 10 minutes long. That's kind of long. Who knows? I got to get to Twitter trends today. Although, actually, I kind of, in a way, I really don't want to get to Twitter trends today. If you know what's happening in the world right now and everyone's talking about it. And it's one of those subjects where I probably shouldn't comment on this world event for about 3 to 5 days. Only because it's another one of those events where there's just something about it that I'm not really sure that it is what it is. It may well be, but I'm thinking that there's just something that don't sit right with this particular event, besides the fact that it's a tragedy. And so when we get into Twitter trends, let's just we'll talk about it briefly, but half of the top 5 Twitter trends are all related to that incident. You know what? I personally like this video, so we're going to watch it. Is Hillary Clinton the most qualified ever to seek the presidency? Let's just watch this, because again, this is when I still had a sense of humor.
And that's why I can say with confidence, there has never been a man or a woman, not me, not Bill, nobody, more qualified than Hillary Clinton to serve as President of the United States of America.
Really?
Maybe y'all can answer this question when this video is over, by the way.
Hello YouTube, I'm back. It's Dawg Knight, and this is the second video of my YouTube existence, so bear with me. Now, this time I have a question because it's something that's been bothering me as I watch this political season, and let me just give you a full disclosure. I am one of those people who have been saying
the answer is banana.
Never Trump, never Hillary. Now, that seems contradictory, but in honesty, I have a hard time with both candidates. There's many things that they do, say, have done, have said, that really make me wonder why I should even vote for either of these people. But let's start with Hillary Clinton, because there's some things that people say all the time that just puzzles me, and it's this phrase.
And to this day still
Hillary Clinton is the most qualified person to run for president ever.
Hillary Clinton is clearly one of the most qualified people to ever run for president of the United States.
I think Hillary is the most qualified we've ever had.
I am here today, like all of you, to support the candidate that I truly believe is the most qualified person to ever run for president, other than...
By the way, after we watch this video, there will be a quiz. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. Quiz. But it won't be a college entrance exam, and there's no way to cheat on this one, so there's really no right or wrong answers. so don't cheat. All right, let's go.
George Washington, and of course, our own Harry Truman.
Hillary Clinton, the most overqualified candidate for president ever.
I have to tell you, Lewis, Hillary Clinton is the most qualified candidate to run for president of the United States in recent history and possibly ever.
Based on what? Now, there's no doubt that Hillary Clinton has a pretty extensive resume. For example, she was the first lady in Arkansas when Bill Clinton was governor. She was the first lady of the United States when Bill Clinton was president. She was a two-term senator for the state of New York. And of course, most recently, she also served 4 years as Secretary of State under President Obama. And those things are all fine and good. I mean, very important positions she's held. But to say that those things make her the most qualified ever, there have been plenty of people in history who have run for president and have become president that have had very extensive resumes. I mean, think about it. Most qualified candidate ever? Come on, George Washington, one of the founding fathers, the lead general in the Revolutionary War. How about James Buchanan? He served in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, was a Secretary of State, was a Vice President. Even Richard Nixon had an extensive resume. He served in the House of Representatives, in the Senate. He was a vice president. Are you going to tell me that being married to the President of the United States is more important than being the Vice President of the United States, where you were elected and you actually have some responsibilities? And if you think about all the people who have been presidents, every single one of them have had an extensive resume. I mean, there's been governors, generals, ambassadors, secretaries of states. You know, there's a wide range. So to say that Hillary Clinton is the most qualified because of her resume, well, that's a pretty big stretch. So then it comes down to her accomplishments, and that's where I get tripped up. I cannot name a single accomplishment from Hillary Clinton. Now maybe you can, and that's where I need your help. If you are a supporter of Hillary Clinton, please do this for me in the comments section. Please name 3 major accomplishments that Hillary Clinton has done in any of the positions that you could see on her resume. Now, here's a couple ground rules. First of all, I'm not counting getting elected to the Senate as an accomplishment. Anyone can get elected and they can end up doing nothing in that position. Also, it can't be something she's appointed to. If you say she was Secretary of State, no, that doesn't count. You have to tell me some things that she did as Secretary of State. How did she improve our standing in the world? Or what countries do we have better relationships because Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State? Those are the kinds of things I'm looking for. However, there are also some things that I'm not looking for. I do not want to hear why you think Hillary Clinton would be a better president than Donald Trump. I don't care. That's not what we're looking for in this video. And if you're a Trump supporter, I do not want to hear why you think Donald Trump would be better than Hillary Clinton. You'll get your chance in my next video. So there you go. Hillary Clinton supporters. 3 accomplishments. Get at it. P-Dog Night. Out.
Okay, that was the quiz. If you can think of 3 accomplishments of Hillary Clinton. By the way, I'm finally getting back to the chat. I'm kind of going backwards here. Yes. Ronald Reagan was the governor of California. I think prior to that, I don't know if he was ever in the legislature.
Wait, hang on. Hold on. I have one last quick thing to say. This is P-Dog Night again. Just one more time.
Okay, that's just me shilling at the end. Okay, so Ronald Reagan was he was president of the Screen Actors Guild, which I don't know if that necessarily he led an organization. I don't know, but prior to being president, he was the governor of California, I think, for 8 years. So that was his executive experience before running for president. And governor's a pretty common thing. And so I'm sure when you're a governor, you have to have some accomplishments. What was back here? Yes, Maniac Man, sure. I would be happy to sometime if you want to, just DM me on Twitter and we can work that out. I don't know what let's see. Yes. So, yes, I already answered that question from Sarah. Didn't TJ stick something in his ass on a stream or something? Yeah, that would be a banana. I already mentioned that. I don't know. Did Worski stick in a King Bob? I don't know about Worski sticking a banana in his ass. I know he tried to light his nipple on fire, or burned his nipple with a lighter in the middle of a stream. That was there. And the pop quiz. If you have 3, if you can think of 3, and don't tell me I saw the Benghazi thing in there. That's not it's an accomplishment, so to speak, but no. Can you think of 3 things though? It's funny because when she was a senator, she never had a bill that she wrote that passed, except for one honorary bill. Other than that, she co-signed on some other legislation that they tried to pass, but at the time, she really didn't have any accomplishments. They kept saying, oh yeah, well, she was the first lady and she was a Secretary of State and she was, what else what was the other one they put on there? A senator and Secretary of State, but I couldn't name a single accomplishment. I couldn't. And plus the fact that she is pretty damn corrupt. She got away with it. I mean, that Clinton name, man, that'll get you out of anything, but I just could never think of an accomplishment. And in fact, the people in my, there was only 4 comments on this video. So this person says, I don't have a problem saying she's among the most qualified on paper. If you just look at political work as a lawyer, what political work? Her one thing as a lawyer, she got a child rapist off and then laughed about it later. She did some good lawyering there. Being a wife of a governor, okay, that's why the first things I put in this video as far as competent. Okay, she was a governor's wife and she was a president's wife. So does that make Melania Trump qualified to be the next president? What does that mean? That means nothing to me. In this regard, if you like in sports talk, where people argue over the top 5 quarterbacks all the time. Well, there was a lot of people who were, if you really think about it, there's a lot of people who ran for president who were way more qualified than Clinton. I think I said about him in the video, so I'm not going to get into that here. But anyway, I don't know. I think the whole question is a silly question. The making that point about Hillary Clinton, I'm sorry, unless you can name some actual accomplishments, there's no way you can call her the most qualified ever. There are plenty of people who are senators, congressmen, governors, who actually ran things or actually worked in the legislative process. That's the thing. You know, when she was a senator, she didn't pass anything. And as Secretary of State, there are a lot of problems. The Russian reset button. Remember that crap? So anyway, here, let's put my face back up here. Let's see, who else showed up? Oh, hi. All you need. What's going on? How you doing? And see, Miss Derby, nice to see you. Benghazi, Iranian 1, server burn and bleach bit, right? Those are definitely her accomplishments. True mating, man. Even Bernie was more qualified at the time. Yeah, I mean, at least he's been in Congress for 30 years, been dealing with legislation for 30 years. What has Hillary done? Anyway, so that was video number 2 by P-Dawg Knight of all times ever. And then yeah, my first 4 videos were all, one was that and then 3 political ones. Here, let me just this one's a very short one. We'll watch this one, and then we're gonna move on to Twitter trends. So this was I'm skipping the "Who am I voting for" video. If you can go back and watch that one yourself, it's actually pretty funny if you ask me. That's me saying it's funny. I laughed at my own damn video, and it has a little twist at the end. But here's my the day after the election, because I did not get to watch the election returns, and so that morning I found out that Trump won, and here is my actual reaction. Okay, here we go. Let's watch this. This is my reaction to the election of 2016.
Donald Trump? Seriously? Donald Trump? America, have you lost your flippin' mind? Hillary Clinton? Seriously? Hillary Clinton? America, have you lost your flippin' mind? Oh, hey, hi. I had to record that last night because I had to go to bed early and I didn't get to watch election coverage. Hey, who won the election? What? Really? Wow. Okay, I guess I know which one to use. Donald Trump? Seriously? Donald Trump? America, have you lost your flippin' mind? Well, at least I have a clean conscience, because you all know who I voted for. Sweet Meteor of Death. I will be voting for Sweet Meteor of Death.
Oh, that's a spoiler. I should have warned you of a spoiler alert. Okay, well, anyway. Now, though, you know, the more... I'm just telling you, like I said, I wasn't a Trump or a Hillary person at the time, but, you know, I guess Trump has grown on me a little bit. He's grown on me a lot. I mean, actually, I don't think, again, like I say, I am not, policy-wise, I'm way more in his camp than any of the Democratic candidates. It's a style issue for me, although I sometimes I think he's the funniest person you could ever have as your president. And you know what? Somehow, what was my favorite line? So I know some of you like Donald Trump, and that's fine, and I have no problem with that. But here's my take: Donald Trump is a jackass. But the thing is, the people who hate him knows he's a jackass. Even the people who like him knows he's a jackass. He knows he's a jackass, and being a jackass works for Donald Trump. So I'm not saying that being a jackass is a bad thing. I'm just saying he's a bit of a jackass. Works for him, and it seems to be working for the country. Don't know why, but maybe because the policies, at the end of the day, the policies in the end work. And I agree with most of the policies. So there you go. That's my take. So, like I said, he's grown on me a little bit. So, actually, he's grown on me a lot. I couldn't vote for either of them because I just my history of the thought of Donald Trump from when he first came onto the scene. And I remember the Barbara Walters special when they're going through his house in the gold toilets. I never got past that. I just thought, gosh, this guy's a pompous ass. But hey, like I said, it works for him and it's doing okay. So I'm not complaining at all. So, all right, now let's get into Twitter trends, which is really, I'm just telling you right now, Twitter trends today for me is a bit depressing, and I'm not going to get too deep into it today because it's a sad event, and it's also one of those events where I need to, yes, there you go, Maniac Man. I agree with that. At least he's honest. You never have to guess what Donald Trump is thinking. You just don't. I mean, just go on his Twitter feed and something he's gonna, and I guarantee anything on his Twitter feed is something that's gonna trend for the day. All right, so as you know, and this is I'm getting into Twitter trends, and the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the top 10 are all related to the tragic happenings in New Zealand. Unless you've been under a rock, that's all you're hearing today. Christchurch, New Zealand. 49 killed and dozen injured in a terror attack. 49 people have been killed and 48 are being treated in a hospital after a terrorist attack on 2 mosques in central Christchurch, New Zealand. Police say a 20-year-old man has been charged with murder and is due to appear in court on Saturday morning. Now, there's this manifesto that's out there that everyone's talking about, and there's, this, again, this is one of those ones. There's a whole lot of information being thrown out there. A lot of people talking about it. Lots of people that, if you're on Twitter today, it's going to be a shit show. I'm going to wait probably 4, 5, 6 days until all the information is out, and to really figure out what is going on here. This is someone who put out this manifesto. Well, first of all, so New Zealand, Christchurch, PewDiePie is trending because the guy said something about subscribe to PewDiePie. He mentions Candace Owens in his manifesto. He mentions a bunch of things. He wrote this in this manifesto. Every little buzzword and idea that the what's the good word? The progressive left. I want to say the progressive left because some of the progressive left isn't insane. The insane part of the progressive left who wants to blame, they're all out in force telling us how bad everyone else is, calling PewDiePie a Nazi or saying he encourages Nazis, things like that. PewDiePie is just a goofy guy on the internet who plays games and has become famous with stupid videos, memes, things like that. But the nails are out. Like, and it's just, the whole thing's frustrating. Let's see. Let's go in here. If I could stand it. Well, a lot of this is just informational. New Zealand police has a long thread here that I'm not going to go through. Washington Post. Yeah. So the Washington Post, it's a mainstream, this whole thing is a mainstream media wet dream. Okay. So the Washington Post, the suspect's 74-page manifesto was littered with conspiracy theories about white birth rates and white genocide, and stated he was following the examples of notorious white ring extremist Dylan Roof. I mean, yeah, this dude, he literally put in every possible buzzword that would get the left talking about it and tell them how awful the world is and how awful to talk about the white supremacists. And I mean, he mentioned Del Roof, he mentioned PewDiePie, he mentions Candace Owen, he mentions, what's the name of the thing even was related to that. And I just, again, it's almost like it's too perfect of it reminds me of the Jussie Smollett case, how it was total overkill on the buzzwords that came out of the Jussie Smollett case, using the N-word, calling him a faggot, the rope, pouring bleach on him, these attacked, whatever, 2 a.m. Every little thing that they wanted was in that story. And that's the same thing in this manifesto that they have found. Every little buzzword you can think of is in this manifesto. So I am going to wait a few days before I get too deep into the story, because there's just something wrong. And somehow I believe that we're going to learn some more things about this, that maybe it's not what it seems. And I'm not saying this is a conspiracy theory. I'm just saying, when there are parts of the manifesto that you go, wait a minute, these things don't go together. For example, he was, and I know you don't know what I'm talking, some of you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but he talks about how he's being an atheist, he's an eco-warrior, and yet he's a white nationalist. Two things that don't necessarily fit together, and how much, and there's a part in it where he talks about how much he hates America's domination of the world. He talks about how he wants to create chaos in the world, and how he wants to start sort of a civil war. And everything he put in there is things that, like, good point, Tyler. If you put everything to to stoke division. So, again, it's the American left journalist wet dream. It's the, everything that you want to as a reason to start censoring people is in this manifesto. Everything that you want for people to start going at each other's throats is in his manifesto. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to see what else they find out about him. They're probably going to find out. My guess is they're going to find out that maybe this manifesto was just written specifically to get a reaction that we're getting right now, because they're getting the exact reaction that this dude wanted. So I'm going to leave it at that. Just to hear breaking eyewitness say he heard shots fired outside the Al Noor Mosque in Christchurch, and 4 people were lying on the ground. There was blood everywhere. He came in with an automatic rifle and shot people. I don't know that I don't recall it being an automatic rifle. Whatever. I mean, maybe they can get an automatic rifle in New Zealand. I thought New Zealand. Well, I know the dude's from Australia too. And supposedly there's these, you can't get guns in Australia. So I'm just wondering how this guy got a gun in New Zealand. Either way, I don't know the gun laws there or whatever, but Bangladesh team escaped from a mosque near Hagley Park where there were active shooters. They ran back through Hagley Park back to the Oval. I don't know. I really don't want to see too much of this. I mean, it's just, I hate this kind of shit. I hate this terror attacks. I mean, I was watching a news report on CBS when I was eating breakfast this morning, and they were saying that it was the attack was patterned after an ISIS style attack, which was weird. The only thing I'll say is, without all the information, my heart breaks for the lives lost and for the families lost. Yeah, lost loved ones. I feel the exact same way. Dude had 6 or 7 long rifles and a pump gun. I didn't know that either. So, but yeah, you know what? Yeah, he's just pouring, like, who said that? Tyler F. Yeah, he jumped from pouring gas on the fire to rocket fuel. That's exactly what it is. And, and there's Nancy Pelosi. We mourn We mourn the loss of 49 lives cut short of the horrific act of violence at Christchurch, New Zealand. You know, and she's okay. So she's got it, and it's a lot. Oh, it has the Islamophobia. That's the, you know, that's the thing. I've never heard Nancy Pelosi talk about, you know, did she talk about, I don't know, she's always got to make some Islamophobia and such acts of pure hatred have no place in a civilized world. Well, you're right, but you're making a political statement when you say that, though. Let's see, Tulsi Gabbard. The massacre in Christchurch is a bitter fruit of hatred rooted in racism and religious bigotry. We must stand as one and condemn these attacks on our Muslim brothers and sisters. For those suffering today in New Zealand and around the world, we are with you. You know, President Trump said something, and of course the usual suspects are trying to blame it on him. Okay, so for example, let's look at John Bolton. Now, I'm not a fan of John Bolton. I think he's a jackass too, but he's, but I do like, one thing I do like about John Bolton is he's no nonsense. When he's trying to do something, you know, to hell with y'all. This is what I think. You know, he's straight. He's a straightforward dude. Anyway, so he says, our deepest condolences and prayers are with the victims, family members, and loved ones affected by the heinous act of terror against worshippers at mosque in Christchurch. The United States stands with the people of New Zealand. Now, let's look at some of the responses to John Bolton, which I know, it's just, I can guess. Hello, Joys of Sorrow. Hi, how are you? Welcome. You were new here the other day, or you've been here before, but whatever. Okay. Now let's okay, so that's a statement of condolences, and I'm sure is, you know, a heartfelt statement of condolences by John Bolton. Now, this is the trash that is Twitter, and I'm only guessing that there's going to be trash in the replies to John Bolton. So let's take a look and see what kind of trash we can find in the replies to this very sincere statement of condolences and prayers for the victims. Well, they're all, so the first 5 are in a different language that I can't read. Okay, someone says amen, that's good. It's a shame the president doesn't know how to call it a terror attack. Okay. Because people wanted to call it a terror attack. And then you got crippling America, Donald Trump. Oh, Nazi. Symbols of hate. Nazi. Hood. Make America great again. Okay, all logos for intolerance, racism, misogyny, homophobia, nativism, and anti-Semitism. Great. You know what? That's a good way to respond to a sincere statement of condolence. Okay. All right. Now this one I like. Just the New Zealand flag at half-mast. Okay, that's appropriate. The founder of War on Terror are behind these attacks, who's spreading anti-Muslim virus across the globe since 9/11/2001. What happened on 9/11/2001? Oh yeah. 2001. Yeah, I remember now. America is center of terrorist trading. We do not accept your condolences. Hey, dickhead! This was somebody from Australia. I'm not even sure if the asshole's ever been to America. How about that? Jesus. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even get like that. So, Christchurch, New Zealand, mass shooting mosque, someone talking about it here.
And then as we waited, people started...
Okay, I'm not gonna... Okay, now they show this rifle. I don't know what this is. Apparently, 14 words. Yeah, it has. I mean, again, it's really just so strange how every detail of this is. Again, it's the mainstream media's wet dream of how many things they can try and tie this to Trump and whatever. Okay, so the Australian-born suspect who shot dead where she was in Christchurch, New Zealand, had published a manifesto citing. See, now, oh my God, citing U.S. President Donald Trump. Now, I love how they put this together. Citing President Donald Trump and Anders Breivik, the Norwegian white supremacist who murdered 77 people in Norway in 2011. They are just dying to tie this to Trump. And it's amazing. So rather than help him achieve his stated objective, fomenting political strife in the U.S., you'd hope that U.S. media would exercise caution and not start leveling wild, ill-considered charges. However, I am not. Okay, this is that's a good thread. Let's read this thread because I think this is what I'm talking about. Okay, the depraved maniac in New Zealand has already accomplished his stated goal of spreading his sick views, which are now being amplified across the world. Breivik, cited in by the maniac as inspiration, had the same goal and also succeeded. The incentives operate here are so warped. Saying subscribe to PewDiePie, which is what he said somewhere in there, indicates an intent to game the online media ecosystem because he knew PewDiePie, the world's biggest YouTuber, would be forced to issue a condemnation, thus making the attack even more viral and amplifying his views further. Calculated and sick. Oh, this is Michael Tracy. He's a journalist. And Michael Tracy's a liberal, but he's gotten he's been somewhat ostracized by the progressive left. I'm sorry, not all the progressive left, not the sane progressive left, but the let's take over the world and tell everyone what they can do insane progressive left. Similar rationale, most likely, behind his trollist citation of Candace Owens. He knew referencing her, however sarcastically, would make this a bigger controversy in the U.S., hastening his stated goal of exacerbating political division in the U.S. Yup. His comments appear to be the fusion of trolling and ardent, self-described fascistic ideology, so it's important to parse with care. He's not citing Candace Owens as a real inspiration. Breivik is his inspiration. He's citing her to discredit conservatives for whom he professes hate. Yeah, he has said that he has his own question and answer to himself. Are you a conservative? He's like, no, he can't stand the conservatives. He obviously hates leftists as well. However, he devotes more space to maligning conservatives. He perceives the delegitimization of conservatives as integral to achieving his ultimate objective. His reason for bringing up a figure like Candace is to embolden American liberals, leftists, to more aggressively restrict the Second Amendment, thereby fomenting political strife, what you were saying, Tyler, and violent backlash. I'm choosing not to post excerpts on Twitter, but that's my initial read. I agree with Michael Tracy 100%. What he fundamentally advocates is fascistic accelerationism. He self-identifies as fascist. He perceives the principal enemies of that objective to be conservatives, especially U.S. conservatives. Although the attack took place in New Zealand, his main political focus is in the U.S. So, rather than help him achieve his stated objective, fomenting political strife in the U.S., you'd hope that U.S. media would exercise caution and not start leveling wild, ill-considered charges. However, I am not optimistic. Neither am I. It's amazing. It's amazing. And can we, at the same time, ask those individuals and the media writ large to do better with regards to hate speech? Fuck you. No. Okay? No. There's no the only definition of hate speech there is the speech that you don't like. It's whatever makes you say, that hurt my feelings. You know what? No, I want if it's people who actually hate other people, I want to hear them. I want to know who the hell they are. I don't want them going underground. I'd rather hear who they are and tell them to fuck off. That's what I want. Okay? There's no if there is such a thing as hate speech, I want to hear it all so that I can pinpoint who I need to keep an eye on. Period. No, I don't want. Anyway. So some replies to this. You can quickly see by the vitriol online that the same people who always defend PewDiePie and Candace are upset today, not because of the killings, but because of the media. These are already the people most vulnerable to radicalization. Kiss my black ass. Fuck you. Okay? I'm going to be swearing a lot. This is why I didn't want to get into Twitter trends today. And that's it. He literally wanted to inflame a race war using the U.S. media. Yep, and they're playing right into his hands like a fiddle, including some former colleagues of yours. Yep, that's the truth. Our media exercising caution. If that happens, I'll give up whiskey forever. I'll give up coffee forever. It ain't happening. It's amazing. Let's see. This guy's manifesto makes it clear why he said subscribe to PewDiePie. It's because he wants to create division and conflict. He wants the media to go after PewDiePie and his fans. And he wants to accelerate the culture war. Everything about the attack was cultivated for that end, from the choice of victims to the weapons to the people he references. He knows Felix won't approve of his actions, and he knows Felix wants nothing to do with him. He is associating himself with PewDiePie because he wants to see Felix condemned with that association. He wants the mainstream media to run with the narrative that PewDiePie and his supporters are alt-right and or fascist adjacent. If the media falls for the bait, then we'll see the murderer's ultimate plan fulfilled. YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook will be likely be his unwitting pawns as they crack down on problematic people like PewDiePie. If this isn't addressed, then the murders will have not only been a horrific crime, but they will have also been mission success from the perspective of the killers. They cannot be allowed to succeed. So it's actually important here that regular combatants in the culture war lay down their weapons and refuse to fight over this. If they don't, then the killers will get exactly what they want. I am retweeting the fuck out of that one. There you go. Ding. Ding. I'm buying a bell today because I have no bell to hit right now. By the way, I have a Streamlabs down here. Since I'm not going to be giving up coffee because we already know that ain't happening, feel free to throw a buck in the tip jar so I can buy some more coffee. Or just hit the share button. Hit the share button. Tell people that I'm here. That's the biggest thing you do for me. Here's my goal. Over the next, let's say 2 months, I'd like to double the number of subscribers. So that's why I'm going to start making videos again. And I hope you enjoyed the video that we did earlier. Let's get on to a different Twitter trend because I'm already just freaking losing it. This has got to be, and my time's almost up anyway. So anyway, PewDiePie is trending. The mosque shooting is trending. Islamophobia is trending. I got an idea. Let's go to something not related to New Zealand right now, which is number 7 trending, the Ides of March. Because today's March 15th. Good morning and happy Ides of March. Obviously the most recognizable Shakespearean scene in Game of Thrones. What? Fuck. I don't care about this game. God, Shakespearean. I don't want to. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, from Julius Caesar's Beware of the Ides of March. Famous line from that particular Julius Caesar play. Julius Caesar, Act 1, Scene 1. Wherefore rejoice. Marillas speaks to 2 rejoicing commoners. Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings he home? What tributes follow him to Rome? To grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels. You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Knew you not Pompeii? Many a time and oft have you climbed up the walls and battlements to towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see the great Pompey pass through the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made an universal shout? What Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds made her in her concave shores. And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now call out a holiday? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Begone. Run your houses. Fall upon your knees. Pray to the gods to intermit the plague. That need must light on this ingratitude. All right, that's my best little shot at Shakespeare there. What else is on trending Twitter today? Click. So that's the Ides of March from Julius Caesar. Friday motivation. Hey, please give me one good Friday motivation. Please give me one good Friday motivation. Let's see what the top one is. Okay, so now on these, as you know, now on the days ones, we're going to always read the top one, and then we're going to find one that's really good, unless the top one's really good. So here's from someone named Lee Child. Any aspiring writers out there? What makes a book work if it is an organic thing with livid beating heart of its own? And the only way of guaranteeing that it is to make it the unlimited product of one's imagination, i.e. yours. Lee Child. Okay, I have no idea what the hell he just said there. The best piece of advice is to ignore my advice. Yes. Yeah, Sanguine probably could do that from memory. Okay. Oh, now people out here quoting Shakespeare. All right, way to go, Hate Camel. Awesome. Okay. Let's find one good Friday motivation. Oh, look at that. That looks. Oh, dude, that's pretty cool. Can you get all the way across? Can you get there? Yeah. Oh, and he does a flip out of it. That's cold-blooded. That must be. I wonder where that's from. Look at this. Look at this run. This is nice. I'll just look at it one more time. And he gets right across the water there. I like the him skiing down into the bowl, but boy, that I don't know about going across water. Come on, give me one good Friday motivation. Oh, dude, what? Oh, God, you assholes. Okay. Be gentle, do not judge. There you go. There's our Friday motivation. Let me go. Let's go to the next. Next! Is there anything else? Is there one good freaking trending thing on Twitter that I'm not going to be pissed off about? Oh, people are mad about Jexodus. Maya Angelou. What is Maya Angelou did not have to read this innocent girl down on national TV, leave you like that. What? Why are people dragging Maya Angelou? Oh, why this is they're arguing about a Maya Angelou clip from 30 years ago when she was on Oprah. Okay, watch this. This is kind of, she gets, this girl calls her by her, or not, is this Sally Jesse Raphael, I think, or whoever this lady is. I don't know who the hell she is. Listen, watch this. So people are getting mad because Maya Angelou drugged this girl down. Listen to this.
Kim, you had a question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Maya her views on interracial relationships.
Oh, thank you. And first, I'm Miss Angelo.
Miss Angelo?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not Maya. I'm 62 years old. I have lived so long and tried so hard that a young woman like you, or any other, you have no license to come up to me and call me by my first name.
Okay, so here's the thing, and I kind of get I kind of get this because my mother, the mother I grew up with, my mother's my birthed me, and my mom is who I grew up with. My mom, and people of that generation, you did not call adults or who are from a generation above you by their first name unless they gave you permission. And I remember one time we were in a grocery store, and my mom had written a check, because people still wrote checks back then, and my mother's name was Juanita. And she wrote a check, and she gave it to the clerk, or the cashier. Might have been, I don't know, whatever, cashier. And the cashier looks at the check, and she says, "Thank you, Juanita." And my mother, I've never seen my mom give someone the fire stare before. You know, the fire stare when the fire is shooting out of their eyes and their whole head, the other person's whole head blows into flames. My mother gave her this look. Here, let me do it here. Got to give you this look. My mother gave her this look, and she said, "Young lady, she said, 'Young lady, do I know you?'" And the girl was really confused. She's like, "No." My mom says, "Well, since I don't know you and we've never been introduced, you may call me Mrs. Johnson." And the girl was just like, "Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson." Da, 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 da. But people of that generation didn't like to be called by their first name. And all of a sudden now, I mean, it's like every kid, wants to call you by your first name and all that shit. I still used to make my kids' friends call me Mr. Johnson, up until they were like their senior year in high school. They all knew, do not call me Marty. Call me Mr. Hey, Mr. Johnson. They'd say hi to my wife and say her first name, but all of them knew, do not call me by my first name. Call me Mr. Johnson. It's a sign of respect. And, it's one of those things that I appreciate, because it's respecting adults. I think a lot of people, like, for example, I always talk about the community. But one of the reasons that we don't respect people in authority is because we don't care about respect anymore. And that's one of those things that when I talk about kids growing up with fathers, and you have a female figure and a male figure that in your family that you have to respect and have to give respect for. If you only have a female figure that you give respect to, then when you go out in the world, you don't respect the male figures in the world. So I think, like, for example, one of the reasons a lot of people who don't grow up with two parents have trouble with the police, because they don't respect that person of authority. The only person of authority is their mother. Okay? If you have two people of authority you have to respect, then you are more respectful to more people in the world. So that's anything. But apparently, people dug this up, and people are talking about Maya Angelou for something she did so many years ago, and I don't, whatever. Weird. Queer Eye, Rick Gates, what's this? Mueller asked for a 60-day postponement to file Gates report. U.S. Special Counsel Robert Mueller and Rick Gates, who worked on President Donald Trump's campaign and inauguration, asked a federal judge in Washington for another 60 days delay before seeking a sentencing date for Gates' guilty plea to conspiring to defraud the U.S. I wonder what that's about. Gates continues to cooperate with respect to several ongoing investigations. Mueller and Gates said in court papers they asked that they be allowed to file a report before May 14th. This will not make the news today, because everything's going to be about New Zealand, which is fine. But remember what I said about New Zealand. All right, I'm not gonna. I gotta close it down today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the show today. We did some different things than normal. Watching my first video is pretty. I hope you enjoyed that. And the next time I have a milestone, I think I'll make my next milestone 500. Once we get to 500 subscribers, we'll do another special. And actually, by then I'll be able to figure out how to combine this whole OBS thing with Google Hangouts so that I can do both in the same stream. But until then, I just gotta learn how to do things. I know who I'll ask. I'll ask the Poisoning the Well guys, because they do that. They figured out how to do it where they can still run, because I want to be able to run all the stuff I put on here now. Plus, I want to be able to put maybe the little other part, the Hangout in the corner, and still be able to talk to people, but then go back and forth. So I'll figure it out eventually, I promise. But anyway, today, I hope you enjoyed the show. We're here every Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT, for those of you who live in other parts of the world who use GMT. And we just have a lot of fun. Remember, right down there, you can hit the share button, hit the like button if you haven't already. If you are not subscribed already, subscribe and hit the bell so that you make sure that you get notifications. Or you can follow me on Twitter right over here. I'm sorry, right down here where it says P-Dog Night down there, at P-Dog Night. That's my Twitter and my Instagram handles. And yeah, really happy that I have 200. Let's get to 500 now. So thank you very much. My name is P-Dog Night, and I am out of here. Bye.